call them for short, but they call them SOB for short in the islands, but that's a jump out squad. Them niggas had to come up in the club and tell us chill the fuck out. Nigga, we was wilding out. And bro, ain't nobody could put their hands on me, and I could fight. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know, go back to the islands, people that tell you, yo, like dread, like come on, man, that's money in the bank. You know what I mean? So I built my respect, not only from my dad, but hands-on. I was hands-on too. You know what I mean? I took L's, I got shot, I got fucked up, and guess what? It's the same way. It's a cycle. I fuck niggas up and they fuck me up too. That's just the way it goes, you know what I mean? So having to train at home with the pistols, use of firearms, I started doing classes. I went and got the sharpshooting license. My trainer, he asked me where I shoot at. The state wanted a 240, I got a 238. It was like, wait, he stopped me. He said, where you shoot at?
Like what led you to Atlanta in particular? You know what I'm saying?
My brother died. My brother Blocks, Jaquila, he's a junior. He was named after my dad.
The one who you said that you that was light skinned that you oh, that's somebody else.
That's Jaquim.
Oh, I thought you said Jaquim.
See, a lot of us, like in the islands, we call God Jah. So a lot of our names, like my government name is Ginja. My brother named Jamal, Jaquim, Jabari, Jaquila. You check Jah. That's something you're always gonna notice in the islands. People got a J-A-H in the names, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Janai. So you hear different names, but it's just like a dread thing. That's all it is, you know what I mean? So that's why you hear so much Jah, you know what I mean? But that's Jaquim I'm talking about, the high yellow one, you know what I mean? But Jaquila, that's a junior, he was dark like me. You know what I mean? He died, he came to Atlanta, he died, he got killed in a club in Club Chocolate. You know what I mean? So I gave up everything. I was in a relationship. I quit my relationship. I quit my job. You know, I was trying to be a good nigga, you know what I mean? I was going to work. I was working on construction for a pipe company. You know, I was, you know, doing the right thing now, you know what I mean? But still on the edge, though, because niggas are creepy, though. The islands is different, and it's small. It's not like America. I could go hide out in North Carolina, South Carolina, or I'm going to hide out in Valdosta or Savannah. Like, nah, it's small. So even if I'm the ops and I don't see you, somebody gonna pick up the phone and be like, yo, this nigga right here, right now. You know what I mean? So it's different in the islands. There's nowhere to hide. You have to face your reality, like whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I came up on, bro died in a Club Chocolate. And, you know, I came for get back. Like, yo, fuck kill my brother. You know what I mean? In the process of that, I came up to America. And I'm meeting this chick from Boston. We got kids. We got 3 daughters. You know what I mean? So like the Bible tells you, a righteous man plans, but God directs his steps. My steps was directed somewhere else, you know what I mean? Still looking for old boy, but he used to be hiding and shit, so, you know what I mean? It's hard.
So what was the story that you received before you came up?
I mean, bro did some coward shit and shot my bro, you know what I mean? And
why you say coward? Coward.
Yeah, it was some coward shit. Like he was running and stuck his hand back, you know what I mean? And it was bullet ricochet and it went to my bro heart. You know, we've been shot before. So when he died from one shot, it was like a mystery. Cause he been shot a couple times. I've been shot 10 times. Like, you know what I mean? We gonna pull through, you know what I mean?
Did they let you know like what led to the altercation?
Not too much. I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't know the fullness, but at that point I didn't care. Because, you know, when somebody die, it's different. You know what I mean? That's why I don't play with death. I don't wish death on people. You know, I carry a gun for a living, but I don't play with guns. You know what I mean? It's weapons of destruction. You know what I mean? So I don't play with that shit. I carry that shit because people got guns. So I'm not going to be out there without a gun. I'm going to defend myself. There's no better protection than having something to protect yourself than not having something. Then you like a scary movie. You're screaming, you run, oh my God, you're trying to jump through the top floor. I'm just saying, you're scratching for your life, but that was never my take. I'd rather have me something. And we both could lay down the grill. I tell you, say your prayers. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But that's what I live by. You know, sometimes even in the field as a bodyguard, I tell some of them young niggas, like, yo, you dig a hole for me, dig one for yourself. Yeah, nigga, raw like that. You dig one for yourself too. But you think you gonna shoot somebody and leave out of here? nah, baby boy, you're gonna lay down with me. And sometimes it don't have to be like that, but sometimes you gotta talk that shit though and stand on it. And some of them look at you like you're crazy, like, what the fuck he just said? Nah, boy, it's real. You dig a hole for me, dig one for yourself. It's written in the Bible, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. Eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not running up in this shit like I'm that nigga, but I'm on principle. And principles and always outweigh people with no principles. Just like experience always gonna overthrow unexperienced people. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm principles. So I'm not just here because of me and I'm that nigga. Nah, I live by the code of God first and foremost. You know what I mean? I live by that, and you know what I mean? But yeah, bro passed. I came, I got 3 daughters, Trinity, Faith, Grace. Yeah, they're my world, man. They're my girls. You know, that's what I do this bodyguarding shit for. You know, to take care of my girls. You know what I mean? So life changed a little bit. I ended up turning a family man. I'm getting married and stuff. You know, and I started to get into corporate America because now I got family now. You know, she was an older chick than me.
So you ended up coming over for revenge.
Yeah.
And it blossomed into you unexpectedly.
Hey. Because I was told as a kid, I'm die young, I'm not going to be nothing, all that shit. So when I got my first daughter, it was like, wow. You know what I mean? Life changed, you know what I mean? Like, she came, you know, that's me, connect your mom, bam, a baby, you know what I mean? Because like I tell you, all my brothers, all them, they had kids before me, all my homies. So I started late being a father. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends, sometimes we get into it, not strong, but it was because they were more mature than me. They had families. I ain't had no family. I didn't give a fuck. I go wild out. If I'm tired, I pull up in a cut someday, probably in my car, and go sleep. I don't have nobody to go home to. Nobody calling like, where you is? Where you coming home? Like, I didn't care. Like, you know what I mean? Or I go by the homie and crash. You know what I mean? Or in the islands, we call them shanties. We build a little structure house in the bush, and that be the spot. You know, I feel like going home, I go to the spot, but I had nobody to go home to. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I wasn't as mature as I am now. Like I tell you, I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So how did you get into like bodyguarding?
It started from home because I was toting pistols, and I used to go youth camp a lot. So when I came back out, I was always bigger than my peers. I went there working out push-ups. Like I tell you, when I went in youth camp, the guys was big. So you had no choice but to look at them and get big. So I started working out, go sit down 4, 6 months, 9 months, you know what I mean? And I come back out, always bigger.
What was your workout regimen like when you was in
sets of 25, diamonds, back arms, pull-ups, you know what I mean? Sets of 50s, you know what I mean? We started up it as we get stronger. We start like my regimen right now, I do 4 sets of 50s.
What?
And then I bang the gym. Yeah. 11 bullet holes. We still banging. But like I tell you, your body's a temple. You know what I mean? Your body's a temple, so I bang. I be in the gym like 2 hours, almost 3 hours. Because after that, that's what I break in with, the push-ups. You know what I mean? I just don't, I do them, walk around, I stretch, you know what I mean? Drop again, you know what I mean? But it's a mind over matter. My body telling me no, but my mind telling me, let's go. You know what I mean? So faith is the evidence of things not seen, so we rolling on faith. You know what I mean? I challenge myself. I don't do these 50, I'm going to hell. Who wants to go to hell? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I corner my body and I push it to the next level. And this is after being fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, but you know, I got a job to do. I got to be on point.
No, for
you know what I mean? So
you say you always was cut up, so that's how you got into bodyguard?
Yeah, that's how I always been like the defender then. And I always good in my hands. See a lot of these bodyguards, they on steroids, or they got guns, like, I don't need a gun. If niggas ain't had a gun, man, I'd run a clinic in this rap shit. Cause they can't fight. They're just big and swole. They ain't got no moves. Or they big on top and they ain't got no legs. Nah, I learned to fight from getting beat up, dog. So imagine what type of fighter I am. I've seen every trick in the book. I know how to counteract. I know, you know what I mean? I know a lot of stuff. I'm not flattering on myself, but I know how to fight. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid of a fight. You know what I mean? Even to the bodyguard was talking about me, I told him the other day, 20K. Let's fight for 20K. since you so dreadful and terrible, and nigga, let's fight for 20K. Nigga, I'll knock you the fuck out. You know what I mean? I don't need no gun. Like, I have guns because people got guns, but I don't need weapons. Nah, we get down.
So you say you started in the islands, though?
Yeah, I started in the islands, so, like, not legally, but around the homies, I was always the big one.
He was the muscle.
Yeah, I remember I came out when I made 18. Man, I came out swole, and I had a ball head. I always had hair in my head. Everybody was freaking out, like looking at me like nigga, like, cause I'm looking like an adult, but I'm 18 years old. You know what I mean? I remember walking down the street, women. That's why them cougars start pulling up on me, cause you know what I mean. I look like a beast. You know what I mean? And think what you call it. I'll never forget my boy Jadis, yo. He was a man in the neighborhood. They hit this guy. They had millions of dollars. You know what I mean? That's why I tell you, the odds is different. They hit this guy, and they got millions of dollars, bro. And he used to be in the hood turning up. I never forget it. Master P song came out, Hootie Hoo.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And we was playing that shit. And Dr. Dre shit was out too, with Slim Shady.
Oh yeah.
Dum, bro. We was rocking, and I want American people to understand we playing this shit in the islands. You know what I mean? He's like, big brother, you rolling with me for the rest of the day. Because he called me, I came out big, he took me to the mall, he got me some shoes. Yo, we went to the club, they put on that Master P Hootie Hoo. Nigga, they had to call a SWAT team. We call them SOBs in the islands. The son of a bitch is what they call them for short, but they call them SOB for short in the islands, but that's a jump out squad. Them niggas had to come up in the club and tell us chill the fuck out. Nigga, we was wilding out. And bro, ain't nobody could put their hands on me, and I could fight. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, go back to the islands, people that tell you, like, dread, like, come on, man, that's money in the bank. You know what I mean? So I built my respect, not only from my dad, but hands-on. I was hands-on, too. You know what I mean? I took L's, I got shot, I got fucked up, and guess what? It's the same way. It's a cycle. I fuck niggas up, and they fuck me up, too. That's just the way it goes, you know what I mean? So having to train at home with the pistols, use of firearms, I started doing classes. I went and got the sharpshooting license. My trainer, he asked me where I shoot at. The state wanted a 240, I got a 238. It was like, wait, he stopped me. He said, where you shoot at? And I had to learn, not going into that with my left hand, when they're testing you to shoot with your firearm, because you're being certified for the firearm you have. So if you carry a 9, you're going to be certified for that. I had a Glock 22. I got big hands, so I got the Glock 22. That's a long 40 caliber. So I got the state one of the 240. I got a 238, a 96 on my shooting test. But they tap you, and you got to shoot with your hand. You got to shoot, and I stopped. I was like, I'm not left-handed. I can't shoot. He said, well, if you want to pass this test, you better shoot with your left hand. And I waited for a while, not too long, probably like 10 seconds. And I hold up my hand, and I took a deep breath and holding my breath. Yo, that shit was a bullseye, bro. He looked at me. He said, all right then. And I started shooting with my left hand, like, you know what I mean? But I got a legal bodyguarding license. I got the concealed weapon license. And it's so much tough to achieve as a bodyguard. So he taught me to always be like, tell people you're a bodyguard in training. Because there's so much credentials. They got the blue card, they got this, they got the federal, where you can board the plane with your firearm, and they got so much credentials you can get. So he taught me like that, like just say you're in training, you're still obtaining. So I got the main three though. They got others, but I got those. I could wear my firearms. If I'm working right now, I could wear my firearms outside. If I'm working right now, I could wear holster while I pump gas in front of cops, you know what I mean? So when I got that, and then I started shifting. I was doing clubs, you know what I mean? The clubs was ups and downs because they always wanted me to be mad aggressive. And that's not, like I say, if somebody who's been through something, they're not loud. I don't need to be loud. I don't need to be an asshole. You know what I mean? I don't need to make noise because it's there, but if we need to go left, I go left. But I'd rather go right. See, a cop taught me, he said, your job is to disengage, not to engage with people. So, you know what I mean? I'd rather talk to you first then. You know what I mean? I'd be like, hey man, well, sometimes me and people get into it as a bodyguard, they try to walk up on my client and I run up and they be like, hey man, I'd be like, hey, I say, picture me opening your trap house door and ask you, where's the plug? I say, all you niggas gonna pull guns at me. And it's so funny, sometimes they laugh. They be like, ah, Dre, you right. Or picture me just walk up on your block. Hey, yo, where the nigga at? Niggas gonna draw pistols. So it's no different. You coming at my client, you know what I mean? It's entering a castle. Or I tell him sometimes be on some Brucey shit, nigga, enter the 36 chambers. What's up? You know what I mean? It's 36 chambers you gotta go through to get to the master. But you gotta enter.